I'm just struck by the chaos, confusion, dysfunction of the Republican conference. They defended putting him on committees, and now they're announcing that he's not going to serve on a committee. So I don't understand what the play of the day is. We have said from the very beginning that George Santos is not fit to serve on any committees. Republicans defended him initially as they announced his committee appointments. So I'm pleased that they agree with us now. I just don't know if we can trust them, if this is just the decision of the week or if this is the final decision. But clearly, George Santos has some issues and concerns, and this is likely the outcome of his meeting with the speaker. But it's unfortunate when Republicans are put in a position to defend someone who only has a passing relationship with the truth.
Passing. That's he being kind when he says passing. So what you just watched was House Democratic Chair Representative Pete Aguilar on George Santos stepping down from his committees. And yeah, you heard it right. Embattled Rep. George Santos told the House Republicans on Tuesday that he will step down temporarily from his committee assignments amid multiple investigations into his campaign finances after he lied about key aspects of his biography. Now, let it be known, George Santos is not the first, he won't be the last member of Congress to tell lies. But baby, when you look up lie in the dictionary, George is right up there in the top 5, no doubt about it. And he defrauded the people who voted for him, really. I mean, this is bigger than what Democrats want or what Republicans want in terms of his committee assignments. The man defrauded the people that he ran to serve. That's what this should be really about. Now, assignments that George Santos was on, just to remind you, just in case, he was on the House Small Business Committee. Lord have mercy. Okay, the Space Science and Technology Committee, and Santos told the meeting that he will step down because he's a distraction. You think, George, you should have not taken the seat when all the truth started coming out, but that's just me. And a Republican lawmaker put that out there. He spoke on terms of being anonymous. So I don't know, David, what you want to do with this?
Well, he was on these committees for like 2 days. I mean, they never had a hearing. They never had a meeting. He was never part of this committee or this Congress. He sits in the back row and nobody talks to him, right? I mean, this is his life in Congress. I guess the pension must have been worth it because it seems like that's all he wanted to do to get there.
Yeah, and he's still going to be paid whether he's on committee or not. I mean, remember the Democrats had taken a couple of Republicans off their committee. They still get that $175,000 a year, whether they're on committees or not. But what's bubbling up though in his community, I mean, people want to see him recalled. So I hope that the people of his district get a chance to have their say about this.
It's nice work if you can get it, right? You just sit there, you don't have to do anything, collect a paycheck.
There it is. There it is. And Santos is still being investigated for his campaign finances. And Mother Jones made some calls to some of his donors. Check out this headline. We tried to call the top donors to George Santos's 2020 campaign. Many don't seem to exist. The list of matters to investigate continue to grow. And how much do these fake donations account for? So glad you asked. These questionable donations, which account for more than about 30,000 of the 338,000 the Santos campaign raised from individual donors in 2020, have not been previously cited in the media reports. Mother Jones identified them by contacting or trying to contact dozens of the most generous donors to Santos' 2020 campaign. And lying like this is extremely illegal under federal campaign finance law. It is illegal to donate money using a false name or the name of someone else. It's called a contribution in the name of another, says Ghosh, the director for federal campaign finance reform at the Campaign Legal Center, a nonpartisan watchdog group. Is something that is explicitly prohibited under federal law. David.
Yeah, this is the important thing that comes out of this entire episode. As someone who's run for Congress, what you want to put together a list of people to say that I have support. I have a number of donors that I can go back to over and over again, and I have the ability to raise money from them. So if you are just giving them, here's $50, and I'm going to put it in somebody's fake name, you make it look like you have broader support than you actually have. And this is a way to do two things. Number one, it gets you around campaign finance limits if that money is actually from a donor who is already maxed out. And of course, number two is it shows this broader range of support than you actually have. This is not the last place that we're going to see this. We see it in the Santos campaign. We also see it in what we've seen bubble up with this crypto dude, the Sam Bankman-Fried, was also using straw donors to also get around limits. That was more about getting around limits because it was money that he had that he couldn't give to individual campaigns, that he could just give to somebody else who would then hand that money over to a campaign. So this is the real important piece. I mean, Santos' story is funny and we all have a laugh, but this is the serious stuff. That this is violating campaign finance law. This is creating certain appearances that are not true, and this is the serious stuff that needs to be rooted out.
It does, and many Americans, regardless of where they land on the political spectrum, want to see campaign finance reform happen in the United States. We need these elected officials in Congress to get on the ball here, because they're defying what the American people really want. No surprise there, because the owner donors don't want it, so it probably won't happen. But it is something that the majority of the American people agree on. And during the 2020 campaign, I just want you all to notice Santos reported making about $55,000 a year in salary. Yet in September of 2022, he reported that he made between 3.5 million and 11.5 million from a company he had formed in 2021. Can a sister get that gig? I mean, seriously. Now, it's something shady about that, but you know what? If it's legit, please let a sister in on how the hell you did that, George Santos. All kinds of stuff are gonna be flying, David. I think other members of Congress should be put on notice as well, because he's not the only one. His might be a little more egregious because it's lies on top of lies on top of lies on top of damn lies on top of lies on top of lies, just compounded. I mean, every time we turn around, the man is lying. But he is not the only one that comports himself this way. And as you laid out, Sam Bankman-Fried, he donated to Republicans using dark money. I mean, this was through his own interview. To your point, he wanted to be able to give as much money as possible. He donated to Democrats. He donated to the current president. He even tiptoed through the tulips in the race that I ran in the Ohio 11th district. So there are a lot of folks on both sides of the aisle, whether he gave directly or indirectly, that Sam Bankman-Fried was involved in donating to.
Yeah, absolutely. And there are these lists of people who are known to be friends of his who made very low sums of money in their salary, who were maxing out donations to all sorts of people. And so the question grew, well, where did you get all this money to do max donations to numerous members of Congress? And then the implication is that, well, Sam Bankman-Fried gave it to me and then I gave it on, and that's illegal. That's right. And so, you have that, you have what's going on with Santos. Where is the money coming from? Are these being put in fake names? Because there's some oligarch that is controlling things behind the scenes. He did these purchases at restaurants that all are $199.99. There's just a lot of weirdness going on with the way in these campaign finances for Santos are going on, and hopefully it does trigger a broader inquiry into this area, which of course TYT's been at the forefront.
Yes, we have, and that's why we can't have nice things, because elected officials are bought off. I mean, bribery, folks, is legal in the United States of America. It happens under the guise of campaign donations. And if we ever want to have a robust, not just Congress, but political system itself, we do need to get big money out of politics so that big money does not have more voice than Big Mama and Big Papa around the corner, down the street, around the way. We all should care about that.